teacher is saying. Not like I'm expected to relate with everything, but sometimes there's a level of understanding or mutual understanding we have to have grabbed, like at the end of the day, which many times I don't get. So I thought of talking about probably better ways to communicate technical stuff to those of us that are not technically inclined. Do we understand this background we're talking about? Okay, so that's basically why this topic is coming up. It's just suggestion. I don't even know if it will work or not, but basically that's what I'm here to talk about. So, yeah, admit it, communicating your ideas to non-technical audience can be really tricky. And in all cases, a confused audience is never ideal. Like it's bad for your audience to be confused. Background. Hi Peter, are you listening to me? So that's why. So, okay, in the end, there's this like there's this tendency for us to feel like, yeah, it's KD presentation or it's presentation. By the way, this is not just for KD. Just generally, I believe we're all going to be making presentations from time to time, even if not here, outside or wherever. And the fact that we're a tech-inclined company does not mean we're not going to be talking to people that are not in the tech world and stuff. So it's important for both here and outside. So there's this tendency to think that because it's just a presentation and you're just asked to come and do something, you basically just come and talk, and then I just believe, yeah, I've done what I'm supposed to do. They should understand, or fine, I've imparted knowledge. But actually, when it comes to communicating ideas effectively, it is my job as a presenter to make my talk enjoyable, to wow my crowd, and to help get across what I want to say in a clear and easy to flow way. Do you understand, like, so far? So that's the concept. It's actually my job. I'm not just here to talk. I'm here to make sure what I'm saying is being understood. I'm here to make sure what I'm saying is being agreed with, and, you know, just make sure it's actually hitting my target. So fortunately, there are some tips that can help us in communicating technical ideas in an understandable way when giving a presentation or writing a blog or whatever it is, no matter the audience. So there are tips that help communicating technical ideas. When we want to come and talk about those PHP things and Python and what's the other one? You guys should respond now. What's the other one? My SQ, yeah. So when we want to communicate all those things, I believe there are ways we can do it, even when we have a mixed crowd. By mixed, I mean those that are technically inclined and those that are not. So the first thing here is tailor your talk. I believe that an effective way to present technical media is to tone down the technical content to an absolute minimum. That's possible, actually. This works for technical audience too, as it brings everyone up to speed without sacrificing your audience's attention. It never hurts to slow down the talk with brief explanations of the technical points, just so the non-techies can follow. For example, the day Ibrahim was presenting, he was literally rapping like shit. I think basically most techies, I'm actually crying as I'm saying this, you just can't see the tears. Like, I feel like guys just rapping tech stuff and just saying a lot of ESQ, PDF, APC, POP, PVC, you know, just stuff like that. So tailoring your talk here means if there is a way possibly that you can tone it down. For example, if we're talking about things that have to do with social media, if for example you're about to run a code, I don't know if that's what they do, for a new app or for, I don't know, something, there has to be a way it can relate to us, because I believe the end product of every technical stuff we do is something we can relate with. For example, the WhatsApp we use now is a product of a technical process, but 1G, and I realized that a phone I was using before was actually 1G, and that's what it meant for a network or something to be 1G, to be 2G, to be, so rather than just coming and telling us, okay, 5G network and what is going to 6G, everything was like broken down. He tailored everything in a way that everybody could understand. So I'm just using reference, and then I'm comparing it with Ibrahim. That keeps confusing me. So Ibrahim is a point of contact, reaching to every other technical member here that confuses me and Bolo Atife. So number 2 is grab your audience's attention from the start. Okay. Technical content can be very in-depth, and this can provide a lot of opportunities for your audience to get lost. So I believe that we should always present a technical talk with the primary intention to entertain your audience while at the same time educating them. So rather than coming and then having technical talks that just bore us like all through, like we're trying hard to listen, we're trying hard to follow. It's better to do something that is just attention, something that kind of livens up the mood from the start, so it determines or it just shapes our mood. So if we start with things that are lovely, if we start with stuff that just spell out fun, or spell out, okay, I'm not here to bore you, or spell out, I'm not here to talk science all through, like don't worry, calm down. Something that just basically calms us down. When I say us, I mean non-techies, please forgive me, it's kind of exclusive. Basically your audience, something that livens up the play, just creates a light mood, so that even if from then onwards what you're going to be talking about is all technical and science and coding and PHP, we would already have like a heart for it, basically. We would already have a mind to carry what it is you're saying. So even if you're talking science, we'll be hearing flowers, roses, you know, inside your PHP. We'll be seeing those things. It depends on how you start. You're thinking it's not possible. So while you're doing that, explain complicated topics, and while at it, making sure that those examples are actually relatable by asking for responses from your audience. So that's it. But I'll just run through again. One thing I would like us to know is that in whatever it is we're trying to communicate, communication is a two-way stuff. It's not a one-sided thing. So this is basically suggestions to make sure that we understand and make sure and avoid not passing across our message actually. So rather than just talking and imposing your ideas on us, it's better to impart and transmit knowledge. So when I'm working out of a KD presentation, I want to have learned something I didn't know before, whether technical, whether art inclined, whether commercial, however it is. I want them to go home with one thing at least, and it depends solely on the presenter. So I started with the fact that we need to tailor our talk, that's removing all the too much technical content and stuff that might make us feel very dumb and ignorant. Also, grabbing your audience's attention from the start, engaging your audience on all levels, paying attention to your visual content, because that helps everything. In fact, looking at the visuals might just tell the story before you start speaking. So that's important. Telling the story, that's capturing the whole scope of your talk or presentation in one glance, in one statement, in one story, one example, something, whatever it is. Just hit us with your scope before you start, so we understand where you're coming from and where you're going to. And then what you're saying should be relatable. Give examples and engage us in a way that we can relate with everything you're saying, all step of the way. So thank you. Plus, I am a non-techie. Proud to be one. Any questions? Please ask me a question. So thank you. Plus, I am a non-techie. So thank you. Plus, I am a non-techie.